Economic Spotlight, first tonight on our news live at 7. A U.S. expert says things are better than expected. We'll tell you the news coming out of a Citibank forum on Latin America and the Caribbean. And along with expert analysis on the economy comes news of a potential agricultural boom. Plus, voter registration for the upcoming by-election in Grand Bahama continues. Then, in our news at 7:30, Flamingo Air in the clear to resume flights after a series of incidents, the latest from the Civil Aviation Authority. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kendino Knowles. A leading executive from a top global investment firm says the travel and leisure markets in the United States will continue to produce positive results, even though the post-COVID-19 boom may be slowing down. That spells good news for the Bahamian economy with its continued heavy reliance on the U.S. travel market. Chief Executive Officer for Citi Global Wealth Investment, David Balin, talking to a group of journalists from Latin America and the Caribbean today on the 2024 economic outlook for the United States and this region. While he admits parts of the U.S. economy already in recession, travel and services remains healthy. He was questioned about any possible slowdown given the war in Ukraine, the Middle East conflict, and other potential global crises.
When you look at American travel in particular, this was a huge year for American travel in Europe. I think the highest on record potentially. And so in the event that travel cools, it will probably cool in the more expensive destinations like Europe rather than necessarily in the Caribbean. So there's no data that I have to suggest that there's going to be a recession in travel. What I would say, and because it's pretty clear, that the level of travel this year does reflect, if you will, the very last remnants of COVID and the fact that people were locked down, right?
Balin admitting that both the U.S. and Latin American economies are performing better than expected with an overall healthy outlook.
In a world full of a lot of bad news, the resilience of markets, the resilience of the economy, the general healing that's taken place across Latin America and the U.S. Post-COVID, normalization of markets, I think are brighter than not spots there. But in order for a lot of what I talked about today to be fully realized, let's say looking at a year and a half, we do need to see higher growth rates, right, in the economies, both in the U.S. and regionally, in order to see a material change in markets.
And Prime Minister Philip Davis says the Caribbean is poised to see an agricultural boom. His comments coming at the opening of Caribbean Agriculture Week. Featuring over 20 guest speakers over 5 forums, the conference seeks to tackle topics such as agroecology, investment opportunities, climate change, and trade facilitation.
Today, we kick off Caribbean Week of Agriculture 2023 with acknowledgement of the great regional potential for agriculture, as well as the inherent challenges to farming and agribusiness in the region. The need for more resilient agri-food systems looms large. This year, as you would have heard, CARICOM's research suggests that 52% of the English-speaking Caribbean faces food security issues.
A key step in solving those food security issues will be the region reducing its imports by 25% by the year 2025. Agriculture and Marine Resources Minister Jomo Campbell says CARICOM's vision is one that is vital.
Vision 25 by 2025 sets forth a comprehensive roadmap for transforming Caribbean agriculture into a thriving, innovative, resilient industry. It envisions a future where our food systems are not only able to withstand external shocks, but also contribute to economic growth, social development.
All right, and now to Grand Bahama as residents in the West and Bimini constituency preparing for the upcoming by-election. Since last Monday, there's been lots of people turning out to register to vote at the administrator's office in 8 Mile Rock, including first-time voters, transfers, and replacement cards for those on the current register. Our news spoke with Holmes Rock resident Erica McIntosh, who had this message for voters.
I just want persons to realize how important it is to have a voice in West Grand Bahama. We need persons who are going to stand with West Grand Bahama, take us at a very serious place. He's already put the foundation down, and we just need them to take us forward.
And just a reminder, registration hours are Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. and then again at 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. On Saturday, the times from 10 to 6 p.m. and on Sunday from 2 p.m.
I would encourage persons. I am happy that I am a registered voter, and I want persons of West Grand Bahama to be just as encouraged as myself to come out and register and have a voice in West Grand Bahama.
All right, we've got a whole lot more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Take a look. Still to come on our news, police are investigating a fatal car crash on Burnett Road, claiming the life of a 36-year-old woman. Plus, nearly $100K worth of supplies stolen from Red Cross. Police on the hunt for several suspects. And mixed messages about employee morale at the power company. The CEO says things are all good, but the union chief is singing a different tune. When our news returns.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individuals.
A 31-year-old man was gunned down in Yellow Elder Gardens overnight. Police telling our news the victim and a woman who were in a silver Chevy Malibu had just arrived home on East Store Court when a dark-colored Japanese car pulled up. That's when two masked men jumped out and started shooting. Police say the victim was shot several times and officers found him lying outside the driver's side of his car. While the man died at the scene, the woman was injured in the lower abdomen. If you have any information that can assist police with this, you are asked to contact them at 911-919 or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. And police are investigating a fatal crash that resulted in the death of a 36-year-old woman. Police say shortly before 2 a.m., a male driver and his female passenger, both occupants of a gray Toyota RAV4, were traveling east on Burnett Road when the driver reportedly lost control of the vehicle and collided with a utility pole. at utility pole on the eastern side of the street. Emergency medical services responded and transported both of the victims to hospital, where the female died a short time later. Investigations are said to be ongoing. Well, $77,000 worth of generators and electrical supplies have been stolen from Bahama's Red Cross, prompting a search by police and increased police patrols around the JFK headquarters. Red Cross Director General Alicia Pinder says it now puts them in a serious position if the Red Cross is called on for assistance.
When we are trying to be at a good place and we have loss like this, it's disheartening, it's very frustrating, and it really speaks to all the help that we want to provide, and that someone would set us back in this way. So it's not a good feeling at the society where today we're not very happy. We just are surprised at who would do this.
Police say they believe the incident happened sometime after 6 p.m. Monday evening. Press Liaison Officer Chief Superintendent Kristen Skipping says several people entered the property at the northern side of the fence and broke into several containers with Caterpillar generators.
I want to make an appeal to members of the public that should anyone be found with those items in your possession, you can find yourself before the courts. I also want to say that receiving is also an offense. And so ignorance is no excuse to say you didn't know that the items were stolen.
All right, last week's, following turmoil, that is, between executives at Bahamas Power and Light and the union, CEO Siobhan Cambridge says morale is high. His comments come after the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union attained a strike certificate. Union leader Kyle Wilson cited health and safety concerns and stations throughout the islands. Cambridge says while everything isn't perfect, they're still a family.
I think employee morale is high. Like I said, we're coming off the end of our summer season and we were able to get through. We've weathered it. We've weathered internal storms as well as literal storms. And I think, like I said in my speech earlier today, everything isn't all rosy, but we're a family and we're working through our differences.
Now, the union is singing a different tune. Union President Wilson says while things have improved since JoBeth Colby Davis was given ministerial oversight of the power company, there's still a ways to go.
Some of the issues are being addressed. As you remember that we did have a walkabout where the minister got first-hand view of some of the issues that the union was making complaints about. And so some of the issues are being addressed, and I've just recently spoke to the minister as much as today, and we're still organizing trips to the islands to see even more issues throughout the family islands, because we want to make sure their issues are addressed as well.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as the United States denounces Hamas, calling the surprise attack on Israel an act of sheer evil. Plus, Sam Bankman-Fried faces his ex-girlfriend in court as the star witness took the stand today in the ongoing FTX fraud trial. Meanwhile, CARICOM calls for ceasefire in the Israel-Gaza conflict. The story when our news returns.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. U.S. President Joe Biden on Tuesday denounced Hamas, calling the surprise attack on Israel launched by the Palestinian militant group an act of sheer evil, and stressed that U.S. support for Israel as it mourns the killing of more than 1,000 people, including at least 14 Americans. Biden described what he called stomach-turning reports of parents butchered, babies being killed, entire families slain, and women raped, assaulted, and paraded as trophies. Biden spoke after his third phone call in 4 days with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The president said he told Netanyahu our response would be swift, decisive, and overwhelming if the U.S. had been attacked this way, but that democracies must also uphold the rule of law in wartime.
The brutality of Hamas, these bloodthirstiness brings to mind the worst rampages of ISIS. This is terrorism. But sadly, for the Jewish people, it's not new. This attack has brought to the surface painful memories and the scars left by a millennia of anti-Semitism and genocide of the Jewish people. So in this moment, we must be crystal clear. We stand with Israel.
Meanwhile, Caroline Ellison, the former head of Sam Bankman-Fried's crypto hedge fund Alameda Research, took the stand today as the prosecution star witness against the FTX founder. Ellison, who was Bankman-Fried's girlfriend, pleaded guilty in December to fraud. From the stand, Ellison had to look around the courtroom for nearly 30 seconds before identifying Bankman-Fried. Ellison, the former head of his crypto hedge fund, as we said, Alameda Research, she's the star witness for the government and testified that she and her ex-boss defrauded customers, investors, and lenders. Ellison said, quote, "Yes, we did," when Assistant U.S. Attorney Danielle Sassoon asked if she committed a crime. If convicted in the trial that began a week ago, Bankman-Fried could spend his life in prison. He has pleaded not guilty. Of ancient permafrost, due to climate change, may pose a new threat to humans. That's according to researchers who revived nearly 24 viruses, including one frozen under a lake more than 48,500 years ago. Bloomberg reports that European researchers examined ancient samples collected from permafrost in the Siberia region of Russia. They revived and characterized 13 new pathogens, which they termed zombie viruses, and found that they remained infectious despite spending many millennia trapped in the frozen ground. The research reveals these dormant pathogens awakened by climate change pose a potential threat to public health as they resurface. And now to the region, where the Caribbean community CARICOM condemning the attacks in Israel and the counterattacks in the Palestinian territory of Gaza. In a statement, CARICOM said the savage nature of the attacks and counterattacks are the antithesis of civilized life and living, as innocent lives are being lost amidst the fervor and violence of the actual combatants. CARICOM says it joins the responsible members of the international community in calling for an immediate ceasefire and an end of hostilities by all parties. And finally, the Dominican Republic government said Monday it will temporarily allow trade of essential products, including food and medications, on its border with Haiti. but it said it will maintain a ban on the entry of Haitian citizens amid a dispute over the construction of a canal targeting a river that runs through both countries. The government said the measure will come into force on Wednesday, starting at 8 a.m. in 4 border provinces in an effort to facilitate the trade of products aimed especially at children. The Dominican government also said it will reinforce the country's military presence on the border to make access to its territory more difficult for gang members who could possibly flee Haiti. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was October 10th. Then in our news at 7:30, we'll tell you the probe into a sexual assault of a 31-year-old woman in Western New Providence. Investigators search for the assailant who apparently knew the victim. And a 22-year-old is behind bars tonight, charged with murder in connection with the killing in Coconut Grove. We'll tell you when the case is expected to resume when our news continues.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective.
Welcome back to our news. It's time now to turn our spotlight on events that shaped the day that was October 10th. Take a look. On this day in Bahamian history, in 1983, the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation opened to the public in Nassau. The original offices were located on Thompson Boulevard in the current Michael Eldon complex. Then in 1984, then Deputy Prime Minister Arthur D. Hanna, along with then Minister of Youth Kendall Nottage and then Minister of Agriculture George Smith, all resigned from the Pindling cabinet. Then ministers Perry Christie and Hubert A. Ingram were dismissed following a report by the Royal Commission of Inquiry linking the government to drug trafficking. The Commission of Inquiry reported that while Prime Minister Lyndon Pindling deposited in his bank account some $3.5 million more than he earned as Prime Minister, none of the known sources of funds appeared to have been drug-related. All right, to watch that historical recap again, you can visit ournews.bs. Well, 50 Bahamians under the age of 40 were recently recognized for their outstanding contributions to nation building. Our Talia Hall speaks with the organizer of the event and the honorees.
It was a night of elegance at the Bahama resort as 50 Bahamians under the age of 40 from various islands across the country were recognized by Professional Services Bahamas for their hard work and dedication to their respective careers and community. Consultant for Professional Services Bahamas Marco Forbes says the event exceeded their expectations.
After COVID, it pretty much killed the event, we thought. We had so many people reached out to us to ask us if we can still continue it. So we decided to bring it back and do it during the Bahamas 50th anniversary and have it a grand gala with 50 honorees instead of 40.
These honorees expressing their excitement.
It's a privilege and I feel very grateful. I'm honored to be recognized in our country. I feel great about it and I hope that this inspires other people to my Grand Bahamians as well, that sometimes your work is recognized.
I want to thank the organizers for choosing me to receive such an award. I know there were a lot of people that came in terms of the people that were nominated, and to be selected as the top 50 means so much.
It feels great to attend this award tonight, to be recognized and to have my family and friends support me.
Being recognized for all of the hard work that you put in, it's a really good feeling, and it's an extra good feeling to share it with all of the other young professionals here tonight. So amazing. I hope it's a good night. I'm feeling really good.
CARICOM Ambassador Leslie Miller-Bryce, a former honoree, telling the 2023 honorees to continue doing their best.
Dream big, soar high, understand that you have a purpose, and as long as you fulfill your purpose, your dreams are endless.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Natalia Hall.
All right, thanks a lot for that. To watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, visit ournews.bs. Speaking of Natalia Hall, she joins us now with the latest headlines. Natalia, I know that you were actually one of the hosts for that event, right?
It was great.
Yeah.
It was so great, and it was an honor to see so many Grand Bahamians, be recognized this time around. each year it keeps increasing.
Yeah.
And to see all of the honorees, under
and
the
our,
age.
And our Berthany McDermott too.
Of course.
Right? I mean, I know we already gave him his kudos and congratulations, but congratulations again.
Yes,
PJ. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, police probe the sexual assault of a 31-year-old woman in Western New Providence, and a 22-year-old is behind bars tonight, charged with murder. Here are your latest headlines. Green light go. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30. Flamingo Air is fully operational again. Our News speaks exclusively with the chairman of the Civil Aviation Authority. Also, a man is behind bars tonight following a fatal stabbing in Chippingham over the weekend. Plus, mental health is a universal human right. This as today is celebrated as World Mental Health Day. And later, bringing it to life. Do you have what it takes to bring your business to life? Our Megan Shepard sits down with a business expert when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Doctors Hospital is reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Collect verse access is as easy as grab a click, scan a click. Open your camera app, focus on the QR code, and click the link that appears. You own your Collect verse experience. Take selfies, join the cultural referendum, and share with your friends. See content from local chefs, Olympic athletes, and cultural icons. Click is proud to be 50. Grab a click, scan a click. Get in the Collect verse today.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Favorite Bahamian artist of all time? I'll give you some time to think about it.
The greatest Bahamian song was
recorded by the beginning of the end, Funky Nassau.
We're in a day and age where things can be different and still be authentically Bahamian because it's the Bahamian people bringing it to you.
Junkin was like the heart and soul of the Bahamian culture.
Welcome to our news and thank you for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. The Civil Aviation Authority has given Flamingo Air the green light to resume flights. Flamingo's planes were grounded last week after a viral video that showed their aircraft door ladder hanging open mid-flight. Well, I spoke with the authorities today about new developments in this case.
Flamingo Air was found to be compliant.
Flamingo Air given the all-clear to fly. Chairman of the Civil Aviation Authority, Devard Francis, says the airline satisfied their inspection.
We would have investigated the maintenance records, we would have done an investigation on the planes as such, and that's at all that I'm at liberty to discuss at this time.
Francis confirming that the pilots on that potentially dangerous flight have been suspended. Reports reaching our newsroom allege the airline may have still been operating over the weekend. Here's what the chairman had to say to that.
Well, I have no information as such.
He says throughout the weekend the airline was grounded and not operating.
I know some persons would have tried to book tickets and to see whether or not they were grounded, and for the full weekend we can say that they were not flying, and so we've seen that there have been some egregious prevarications and persons making up stories as if they were flying through the weekend, but we can say that they were not flying through the weekend. The airline is under heightened surveillance, and our Director General, along with his team, they have them under extreme heightened surveillance.
And if they're found in violation again?
That'll be also with consultation with the Director General and his team.
Francis also had this assurance for the traveling public.
They have satisfied all prerequisites that we would have proffered to them.
Well, police are searching for two men they believe are responsible for sexually assaulting a 31-year-old woman last night in western New Providence. Police say the victim was with a man who she knew when she was taken to an unfamiliar location. It was there that she met a second man, and both men sexually assaulted her, robbed her of a cell phone and an undetermined amount of cash. Now, investigations are continuing into that matter. A 22-year-old man spent his first night behind bars after being charged with a murder that took place last month. Prosecutors say Alvin Javert is responsible for the fatal shooting of 21-year-old Mackenzie Kajus on September 26. According to police, he was walking along First Street in Coconut Grove when a gunman shot him multiple times. Javert did not have to plead to the murder charge when he appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley. Bail was denied and he returns to court in January to receive voluntary bill of indictment papers. A man is now in police custody and is expected to be charged soon for that fatal stabbing incident in Chippingham on Saturday. Police tells us a 52-year-old man was stabbed to death sometime before 3 p.m. Second in charge of the Criminal Investigation Department, Superintendent Tarico Sweeting says it was residents in the area that assisted in the arrest. Sweeting says the man is in his mid-20s.
I'm pleased to report that, of course, with the help of persons in the community, if you watched the press, I pleaded to the members of the public on Sunday afternoon to please come forward and assist us with any information that can help us with our investigation. And like I said, I'm pleased to report to you that persons in that community did just that. And so, armed with the information that they gave us, we were able to take a person into custody late yesterday evening, and he is now assisting us with our investigation.
All right, cloudy skies outside the Our News studios this evening as we experience lots of rain today. We now go to the Weather Center with a first look at weather. Still to come on our news, today is being observed as World Mental Health Day, a local organization commemorating the day with a symposium at the University of the Bahamas. Also, a corporate services company is telling you how to boost your business. We'll tell you all about it coming up. Plus, empower women. That's the mission of Cable Bahamas Group of Companies Inspire Her Conference. The details coming up when our news continues.
Favorite Bahamian artist of all time? I'll give you some time to think about it. The greatest Bahamian song was recorded by the beginning of the end, Funky Nassau.
We're in a day and age where things can be different and still be authentically Bahamian because it's the Bahamian people bringing it to you.
Junkin was like the heart and soul of the Bahamian culture.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Embrace technology and the
It's World Mental Health Day, an international day for global mental health education, awareness, advocacy against social stigma. Since 1992, the day has been observed every October 10th, and today members of the Bahamas Psychological Association commemorated the day with a symposium at the University of the Bahamas. Child and adolescent therapist and member of the BPA, Raquel Curry, says here in the Bahamas, people are paying more attention to mental health post-Hurricane Dorian and the pandemic.
So you're seeing a lot of people talk about trauma now, right? A lot of people talking about being triggered. Like I mentioned before, depression and anxiety is on the rise. So is stress levels. So people trying to recuperate after not being on the job for maybe a year or 2 years. The country's also trying to recuperate. And a lot of the outside things that were always happening but are now becoming more forthcoming is like issues of domestic violence, sexual assault in children and women. These are the issues that are now becoming more aware.
The therapist shares why addressing mental health issues is so important.
If you don't, I think that it will start to eat away at you, right? And you have less of a momentum or motivation to keep going. And I think that it's important just for overall well-being because the mind, body, spirit, right? So if you're out here going to the gym, getting your body together, why wouldn't you get your mind as well? Because the mind fuels the body, right? And so the days where people are talking about being tired or being, I'm not feeling it, a lot of irritability, these are the reasons why you should actually get your mental health together or try to just have some semblance of well-being, because if you don't, it's going to affect so many other things.
All right, opening and running a business can often be a daunting and overwhelming task. You may have the concept, but what about the plan to bring it all to life? Well, one local business has made it a mission to make doing business less of a headache. Our Megan Shepard reports.
Future Ready Concierge Services is a corporate services company that provides concierge services to clients in a range of areas. Managing partner Marquista Thompson says they seek to take clients from concept to completion.
Corporate management, in corporations, business management, business advising, immigration matters, whether it's work permits, whether it be permanent residencies. We also deal with anything inland revenue, business licensing, tax certificates, real property tax, anything along the lines.
He says what they found were obvious gaps when clients presented their ideas, but he says Future Ready specializes in filling those gaps.
We just help to provide solutions to our clients. We want you to come to us and just say, this is what I'm thinking, this is where I want to go. I'm not sure of the roadmap to get there. Can you help me? And we seek to give you the responses.
They are currently located in New Providence and offer consistent services to clients in Harbor Island. And as the government seeks to make doing business easier throughout the family of islands, so is Future Ready.
Because it is a service that can be beneficial to everyone. Nobody wants to have to travel to Nassau to get things done.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepard.
All right, thanks for that, Megan. If you enjoyed Cable Bahama's group of companies' High Heels and High Places event last year, then event organizers say you're in for a treat with their Inspire Her conference. Jamila Mizik reports.
Elevate, enrich, and empower. That's the goal of this year's Inspire Her conference hosted by CBL. Senior Strategic Partnerships Coordinator Alicia Roll says it's all about diversity and inclusion, specifically promoting women in leadership.
There are great heights that you can reach. You don't have to limit yourself, and we want representation. When you look around, there are people like you in the roles that you want to attain.
And you can expect to leave inspired. As she says, the Day of Empowerment will be full of international and local speakers and networking opportunities.
We have activities for both groups, and we also have dynamic panelists. So you'll be learning a wealth of information. We have two keynote speakers that will be coming in from abroad, and they have worked at major companies.
Philippa Dean, who sat in the audience at last year's conference, says she had no idea that this year she'd be on stage moderating the event. Her hope is that those who attend will leave just as impacted as she did.
I believe that once they are exposed to the information that these women are going to share, the strategies, the tools, the actionable steps, I honestly believe that the ultimate goal of this event, which is to inspire women, help them elevate, and to enrich their lives, is going to be attained.
Inspire Her takes place this Thursday, October 12th at the Atlantis Grand Ballroom, with the first session for school-age girls beginning at 9 a.m. and then an evening session for women at 5 p.m. For ticket purchases, you can visit the Alive, Harbor Bay, and Cable Beach stores. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jamila Mizik.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
When Our News comes back from the break, an uncharted course for a clarinet player Our Jane Joseph has her exclusive story.
UB Mingo's softball season gets underway and a few Bahamians make their NBA preseason debuts. Don't go anywhere, our sports is coming up next.
And heavy downpours in the nation's capital this evening. Wondering what else we can expect for the rest of the work week? We have a look at your extended weather forecast when our news returns. Stay with us.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
This is our news. Welcome back. The UB Mingo's women's softball team play in their first game of the season, and Bahamian NBA players play in the preseason. Here's Tej Adderley with a check on sports. Tej?
Thanks, Ty. Good evening. I'm Tej Adderley here with our sports. I hope your weekend was as good as mine. The UB Mingo softball team embarked on a new season. Let's see how their opener went. The UB Mingo softball team opened up their season last week at the One Caribbean Invitational at Bankers Field against the Bahama G Operators. The Mingos kept the game close early on, finishing the third inning down 2-1. Despite that, the Operators' bats exploded and they finished the game winning 18-3. Here's what Coach Shane Aubrey had to say about the game.
Lost focus, a few mental errors on defense. Pitcher missed a lot of locations, a lot of spots. I think we had a few walks to start off the inning. So that pretty much led to a terrible last inning.
That was a rough loss for the Mingos, but they have a whole season ahead of them. They'll have ample time to bounce back. Moving things over to the court, the association is back, kind of. A number of Bahamians made their NBA preseason debuts. Several Bahamians saw their initial action in the NBA postseason this past week. Klay Thompson got things started on Saturday as he scored 10 points on 2 of 7 shooting and grabbed 4 rebounds to help his Golden State Warriors beat the LA Lakers 125-108. Eric Gordon and Buddy Hield played on Sunday night, and Gordon got 8 points and 3 assists off the bench to help his Phoenix Suns beat the Detroit Pistons 130-126. And Buddy Hield scored 4 off the bench as his Pacers fell to the Memphis Grizzlies 127-122. DeAndre Ayton was one of the bigger chips to fall in the NBA offseason, and he'll make his debut with the Portland Trail Blazers on Thursday. That's all we have for sports today. I'm Tage Adderley.
Still ahead on our news tonight, a Clarinet player shares her story tonight. Learn about her musical journey and the challenges along the way. And heavy showers around a few of the islands on this Tuesday, and there's some more rain in the forecast. Your extended forecast is coming up when our news continues.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of
Welcome back to our news. Wet roads in the capital as we experience heavy showers and thunderstorms on this Tuesday. We have more weather details in the extended forecast. Alexandra Shea is navigating an uncharted course on her journey to becoming a classical clarinet player in a culture where rake and scrape and junkanoo reign supreme. Our Jean Joseph got a chance to speak with her ahead of recent performances hosted by the Nassau Music Society. Let's take a look.
Alexandra Shea's love for music was apparent early in her childhood, but when she showed up at Queen College's band room with a violin, she quickly had to trade it in for a clarinet. To this day, she and her instrument remain almost inseparable. Though she parted ways with her violin, her aspirations to become a classical instrumentalist remained, and she committed to doing just that after graduating high school. Fast forward a few years, and she is on her way to completing the highest degree possible, all while performing and working at Arizona State's Creative Career Industry Relations Office.
I might actually be the first Bahamian to get their Doctor of Arts in Music in Clarinet Performance. So this is a big milestone. So just sharing the knowledge and insight I've gained, considering that, like I said, not many people were able to give me advice. So I was able to give advice to the students at the University of the Bahamas.
Though she is excited about her accomplishments, she says the road wasn't easy and speaks of the obstacles she faced along her journey.
I come from a very traditional family where people are doctors and work in banks, and there was pushback. There were also questions, and I remember my mom even asked me, like, what's your 10-year plan? I had to basically describe like how I was going to survive wanting to get a music degree because, like I said, that's not heard of really much here in this country.
Alexandra says she wants to make this path easier to follow for aspiring musicians and looks forward to performing and also being an educational leader in the Bahamas. Alexandra says she is excited about what the future holds for classical music in the country.
And it's also really exciting to see students pursuing music now because, I mean, when I was in high school, no one talked about that. Like, that's just not a career you pursue. So in regards to me as a musician, not necessarily performance related, I'm just really excited to be part of this growing community and to make an impact here as well.
To find out more about Alexandra, visit her on Instagram and her website, alexandrashea.com. Reporting for Our News, Arts and Entertainment, I'm Jean Joseph.
All right, thanks so much for that, Jean. Great reporting, and thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. To watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, visit ournews.bs. And remember, you can share your favorite stories right from the Our News Facebook Bahamas page. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.